Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I am here to show you a game called Bad Medicine. Now, the whole purpose behind Bad Medicine is that it's a party game that each person or a team of persons will represent a drug company that has a brand new drug that is there to heal some either very real or very crazy ailment. Like here's one that is a crippling fear of squirrels on this card. You can probably see there in the bottom, that is. And the cards actually that come with the game have a name and a description and an ailment on the bottom. And the ailment actually is two things. It's both an ailment and side effects for drugs, but that'll explain more when we get to the actual action or the playing of the game. The game is a prototype that was sent to me, so don't, as far as like the art goes, it might very well not look exactly the same. But I did very much enjoy the back, because we've all now, drugs are advertised constantly. It's like, ask your doctor if this drug would be good for you, that sort of thing. So like I love the back of this box, because how many times have you seen that in a commercial on TV? People staring listlessly and longingly out to the serene sunset or what have you. So I do find the satire there unmistakable. I am going to show you how to play the game. It is a fun little party game. I do play party games, and I do like party games for the basic reason of mostly, one, my wife will play them. She actually plays a lot of them with her friends. They have game nights together that I'm not allowed to go to, probably because it's a bunch of girls. But she is always on the lookout for games that she can play with her friends and that aren't as hardcore, if you will. And two, it's just like these are these weird kind of gateway games that I kind of introduce to people and say, well, this is like kind of a designer game, and this is somebody that made. And so I'm always excited to play cool, new, fun little party games like this one. So there's Bad Medicine. It's by Gil Hova. I should mention that Gil Hova actually designed one of my like kind of sleeper hit games from last year called Battle Merchants, which you should check out as well. So regardless, let me show you how to play, and then we'll come back here and I'll tell you exactly what I think of Bad Medicine. Alright, this is the stuff that you get with Bad Medicine, the party drug game, if you will. That sounds really awful now that I think about it. But anyway, you get this big stack of cards here that represent the different drug names and effects and descriptions, side effects, I should say. And then this is the malady card that you're going to be placing the thing that your drug is supposedly going to fix. The Surgeon General card is given to the person that is the first player, and that just goes around the table. You play 4 rounds, and whoever gets the most points wins the game. And then these are the voting cards that represent voting for yellow or red or green or blue, and each person gets one of those. And then obviously they're going to get this card that is going to tell everybody which company they are, one of those colors, and they just put that in front of them, if you will. So to play the game, I'm just going to get rid of some of this stuff really quick. To play the game is pretty simple because it's a party game and you don't want to have lots of rules. You just want the game to be fairly straightforward. And I should mention that I am going to be showing you the rules for playing with 3 or 4 people. When you play with more than 4, there is some change to it, and I'm going to explain that in just a second. So, the first thing, whoever the first player is, they're going to take this card, and you'll notice these cards, they have a part of the name of the drug. They have the description word that you're going to be using if you were to use this card as part of your drug. And then this is either A, the malady that you're trying to fix, or it's going to be a side effect of a drug. So in this case, this is the malady. So we take this and we slide it underneath like that, and you can see our malady that our drug is trying to fix is going to be projectile earwax. If you didn't see that, there you go. Projectile earwax is going to be our malady. So one of the things, then what happens after that is that the Surgeon General will deal 7 cards to each player, and I'll just take 7 because I'm just going to show what one person does here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and as you can see, there are a ton of these cards in this deck. So you've got a lot of stuff that happens. So as I said, these cards have either part of the name of the drug up on top, so dry, dong, crack, C, or M, Lixmar, and then they have the description of if you use that part of it, the drug, you're gonna have to use that in your description of the well, I should say no. You don't use each part of it. You use each card for its part, if you will. So you're going to take 3 cards, and you're going to be using them to form the name of your drug. Now, mention everything, because it's a party game, it's a party atmosphere. Everything about what you have is like usually what people enjoy the most. That's what this isn't a game of like victory points and whatever. Well, it is a game of victory points, but it isn't like a game of like standard designer board game, if you will. So like you just take, so of course we're going to, I like cracked dong, let's go. Like we could go, the name of our drug to cure projectile earwax would be Mardong Crack, and then that's the name of our drug, right? So you take those 3, and we're going to put those face down. So we've got those picked, and now with the remaining cards, we have to pick 2 of these cards that are going to be what we're going to use as our part of our pitch to describe the drug. And so we can say like cupcakes. So like let's say our drug is actually, it's very easy to eat because it is tasty cupcakes that we put the drug within. And we can then go, and then how does it work? Well, what it does is that the cupcakes are so good that they cause endorphins to be released, which relaxes the muscle fibers that are clenching too hard in your ears, causing the projectile earwax. And so that's going to be our 2 description cards, right? So we got those 2, so we're going to put those 2 underneath like that, and so now we've got the 5 cards we want, and we're saving these 2 cards. The reason why we're saving these 2 cards is because the side effect, when somebody else gives their description of what's going on, they're going to hand us a side effect, and everybody else at the table is going to hand you a side effect, and then you have to pick one of those side effects and then incorporate it into your drug, and like why, but maybe yes, it's got the side effect, but maybe it's not such a bad side effect or whatever, so that causes it. So we have this, and so our turn comes, and it's like, okay, how are you going to stop projectile earwax? And so you turn this over, and well, I put those in the wrong order, but this is the new drug Mardong Crack, and then you go on, and this is going to stop projectile. As I said, you're going to go off and try to do your best radio voice and say, we set our sides aside because we have our drugs in tasty mini cupcakes that are easy to chew, easy to swallow. The active ingredient within relaxes the muscle fibers in your ear, causing them to stop clenching the earwax being blasted out of your ears and offending the people nearby. Okay, and so after you get done with that, what each person's going to do is they're going to hand you cards. Let's just take these 3 cards off the top. Like, oh, I took too many. So we take these 3 cards. And so these are the thing is, it's like third eye, half forms on forehead, your nose falls off, or cannot tolerate temperatures above freezing. And so you could say, okay, I'm going to take this one. This is one. It's like, but we have found in some of our test subjects that they have had a problem handling temperatures that are above freezing and found themselves to be comfortable in warmer climates. But as we found productivity of those people is actually quite good, and you actually live longer when you live in colder temperatures. Just ask an Eskimo, and then you go ahead and give your pitch, and then you can just add that together. Obviously I just came with that on the fly. It's probably horrible or whatever. So you give that out, right? And then the next person gives their pitch, the next person gives their pitch, and the next person gives their pitch. And then what happens is then you vote. And everybody will then put a voting card. So let's say you thought whoever the green player had the best pitch. You put that face down. Everybody reveals it once, and whoever gets it gets the vote, and they get points for doing that. And then you go on to the next round and turn over the next malady and so forth. There is, not only do you get points for that, but if your side effect that you handed to the person and they incorporate it, they actually get, the person whose side effect you use, they get a point for that as well. So it just goes around like that, and each person just collects points as it goes, and after you do 4 rounds, whoever's got the most points will then win the game. Pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Now, if you're playing with more than 4 people, you don't have, like, notice how these cards normally they have the formulating and the pitching. So you formulate the drug and then you pitch the drug. But you do both. But in the other version, you'll notice that each one of these cards actually has both the formulating and the pitching on either side. And what you do then is that you're not going to have the same teammate every single turn. So with more than 4, what happens is the Surgeon General will hand out the formulating cards first, and they skip a person. So like if you had 8 people, you hand the one for the first person, then the third person, then the 5th person, then the 7th person, and then you follow up with the pitching cards to the people that don't have it. And then so randomly you will have one person as your teammate. And so what you will do then is that one person will form it, and then when they put those cards together, it's completely blind. You then hand it to the person that is pitching the particular drug, and they have to turn the cards over one by one when they get it. So I'm going to be horrible at this because sometimes I'm clever, but not. So let's just take these 5 cards right here, and this would be like I'd be turning these over one by one for my teammate. So they gave me the new drug. And this would be to cure, because you change the malady after you do the one. So the bones, are your bones becoming magnetic? That is the malady. So the new drug, Nanuam. This is our new drug, Nanuam. Are your bones becoming too magnetic? This is the new drug, Nanuam. Nanuam has, and then you turn the one over, and it says, it only works because of the chant that they gave up, Nanuam, Nanuam. Those who have a firm belief in God will experience non-bone magnetization as long as they make sure they never swallow their own saliva. They have to be spitting the entire time. But if they're able to do both of those things, the drug Nanuam will definitely cause your bones to not become magnetic. So, that was horrible. But so you can see then when you're turning it over blind, these cards, like when you're picking them blind or whatever, it can be much more difficult. And obviously, hilarity, as they say, will ensue from that situation. And then, as before, then you do vote. After for whoever gave the best pitch, and then with the way that goes is that because of the fact that you get points if you win and you switch up teammates, it won't always be the same 2 people or the same team, and so you can kind of the people, there will be a disparity as far as the points go, and you don't win as a team. You will win as an individual, but you won't win as a team, and then the person with most points at that in the 4 rounds will win the game. There is important to note that you can't vote for your own company. You do have to vote for somebody else. You can't just keep voting for yourself. And the other thing is that you, when you're playing the teams, one thing, if you're playing with an odd number, one person will end up just doing it by themselves. So with 7 people, there'll be one person that doesn't have a teammate, and they just do the whole thing themselves. And you can then make that person do it blind as well. They just get their cards and they turn them over one by one. And then you also do have the situation where the 2 people on the team, they can't like corroborate and say, okay, make sure you don't vote for yellow because they're going to win or something like that. You just vote for whoever you think is the best. Because if you're doing that anyway, you're kind of not playing the spirit of the rule for a party game anyway. So, but I'll talk more about that in my conclusion, which I'll do right now. Alright, there. That's how you play the old Bad Medicine from Gilhova. Now, I mentioned there in the end of my gameplay, I mentioned the whole process of like the voting and like how you're not supposed to vote for anybody, but you can't vote for yourself. And I also mentioned that if you're doing that and you're just trying to win the game, you're kind of not playing the game the way it's supposed to be. And I know I don't like telling people, you need to play the game it's supposed to be played. I mean, whatever, play the game however you want. But in party games, you're not there to win, really. You're there to enjoy the people that are around you, and you're there to have a few laughs, have a few drinks, if that's your thing, and just, like, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family. And this is one of those games that facilitates that wonderfully. And for one, the game itself is just fun. It has lots of funny little cards. It has lots of funny little ailments and descriptions and whatever. And it's fun to try to put those things together and come up with something that is humorous or entertaining for those around you. But the really cool thing is that it kind of satirically skewers something that is like part of our daily lives. I mean, we watch TV and we get inundated with these ads about, you know, Privital and Lipitor and Nemino and whatever, you know, all these crazy names of these drugs that are there to, like, you know, cure all these weird ailments. I never knew restless leg syndrome was a thing, you know, and so you know, you can't throw a rock without hitting a stand-up comedian who's doing some joke about the people laying in the 2 tubs by the side of the ocean. You know, who drugged those out there? You know, so it's part of our, you know, social atmosphere. It's part of our, and the thing is, everybody gets it. Everybody gets how ridiculous those things are. But you know, and probably even the drug companies themselves, they kind of, they like the fact that they're kind of wistfully ironic, if you will. I mean, obviously this game, the art and everything is a prototype, so, like, you know, when it gets published, what it's going to look like, you know, maybe different. But I really like the fact that the back of the box, you know, has these 2 people standing on a dock, looking longingly out into the ocean at the sunset. I mean, how many commercials have you seen with that? And it's just, it is a farcical reality that we live in, and these commercials take themselves way too seriously. I mean, you know, just like you know, how many drugs do we need to make sure that, you know, older dudes can get an erection? I mean, I'm sorry for, I mean, it's just like, and so it's just one of those things, and they're always, you know, it's always some well-mannered, you know, salt and pepper beard or hair, you know, just like he's always doing manly things, you know, driving his pickup truck, or he's, you know, out, you know, watching his wife garden or whatever, you know. And it's just like, yeah, whatever, you know. It's just like you watch him and yeah, you make fun, but I mean, but obviously, you know, there's a real need for that, or people wouldn't have it, or any of those things, you know, like restless leg syndrome, or, you know, overactive bladder, or whatever it is. And I understand that, you know, we do live in a world of chemicals and better living through chemistry and everything like that, but it is nice to take a step back and poke holes, you know, even small little tiny holes with things like this, at things, at parts of our lives that are all too real. So, I mean, ultimately, is the game fun? Yes, it's freaking hilarious, and it is really fun when you play with teams, being able to put the drug together and then watching your teammate try to ham fist their way through explaining it. And it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, some people might have a problem, like, you know, being able to, like, you know, doing the pitch, if you will. But if you're playing teams, then, you know, we just allow those people to switch. You know, okay, you can formulate and I'll pitch it. You know, those types of things. Because ultimately, you shouldn't be held really strictly to the rules of this game, because we're trying to have fun. And if you're going to, like, be making somebody play the game in such a way that they aren't going to be enjoying themselves, then you're missing the whole point of playing the game in the first place. We've played games just to do it. Don't score points. Just have fun, joking around. Oh, wait, with that side effect, it'd be hilarious, you know, and just grab it off the tile and do it like that. And so ultimately, yes, I mean, the game is not meant to be taken seriously, because perhaps maybe the subject matter shouldn't take itself so seriously as well. So for all those reasons, if you like party games, I strongly suggest you take a look at this and think about picking it up for you and your group. Alright, awesome. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please ask away. I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. Until next time, you, my friend, have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.